So welcome everyone. My name is Laurie. And why don't you guys, does anybody want to holler out some things they want to make sure that we touch on today?
Back and shoulders.
Back and shoulders.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
All right, back and shoulders, that's what we're going to do. All right, anything else?
Hips.
Hips, okay.
Hips, knees.
Knees, all right.
Head to toe.
Head to toe, that's it, head to toe, let's do it. All right, so let's start in easy pose, which isn't always easy. You could straighten your legs out if that feels better for you. If you want to, sometimes you could roll your mat up a little bit and sit on the mat, and that kind of tips the hips a little bit forward. You could sit on a block, but I like to sit on two, and we don't have two today, so I'm not going to suggest that because sometimes my knees follow one way or the other. So let's just close your eyes or a light eye gaze looking down, and just think about the spine here. Think about starting from the base of the spine, again, right on top of the sit bones, and feeling that right on top of the sit bones to start to grow that spine nice and long from the bottom to the top. Noticing, are your ribs over your hips, shoulders over your ribs, ears tracking in line with your shoulders. Maybe the chin might come in a little bit. Lengthen the back of the neck. And just start to notice your breath. Notice the breath coming in, breath going out. Maybe not trying to do any special breath, just noticing what's there right now. Noticing where you feel your breath. Do you feel it in your nose, your throat, chest, sides of the body, belly, back? Where do you feel your breath? Starting from the bottom, let's work on a three-part breath. Expand the belly. Just try to focus on the belly. Expand the belly. Breathe in through the nose and exhale, ha sound. Or just exhale through the mouth. Just let it out. Try to focus on the belly and expanding the belly all the way around the back too. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So now expand the belly and then expand the ribs like fingers wrapping around the back. Breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Like filling up a pitcher of water halfway now. Now expand the belly. Expand the ribs, breathe into the heart center, breathe in through your nose, and then when you exhale through your nose, gently close your mouth. So it won't feel so much like, the thing will travel more in the back, I can't talk, constriction in the back of the throat a little bit more now instead of when you just open your mouth and said, ha. So, a little bit of constriction in the back of the throat. Mouth is closed gently. So expand the belly, expand the ribs, breathe into the heart center, breathe in through your nose, exhale, mouth gently closed. Filling a pitcher of water all the way up now to the top. This big breath that you're taking, you want to try to take this big breath throughout the poses we do today. But if you can't take that big breath, that's a sign that you're in too deep into the stretch and you need to back up and try to match that breath in the movement. So let's just bring the arms up, take a breath in and a breath out, palms down. Reaching out to the sides. Exhale, palms down. So just follow the flow of your breath. Go ahead and keep the arms up there. The next time overhead. Take a breath in, and then we'll just go to the right. And we want to try to line those shoulders up, so you might not go that far right at first. Breathe. If you need to bend at the elbow, you could bend and put the left hand behind the head or back to the ribs, depending on how your shoulders feel today. And come on up, take a breath in, and we'll go to the left exhale. Try and knit those ribs in the front so you don't get into a barrel chest, going directly side. Remember, you can put your hand behind your head or back to your hip. Just do what's right for your neck and shoulders. Bring the arms up, take a breath in. We're going to twist to the right. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind. And start from the bottom to the top. Belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, and then the head. And if it bothers your shoulder and neck to look over your shoulder, you'll look to the side, right? Just do a little less depth. Breathe into any place that feels tight. Send your mind and your breath there. And bring the arms overhead. Take a breath in. And we'll go to the left. Exhale. Try and be right on top of the sit bones. Try not to lean forward or back when you twist. And let that go. Bring the hands behind, point the fingers behind, and we'll open up the heart, belly, ribs. Open the heart towards the sky. A little back bend here, looking up at the ceiling, or you could look forward if that felt better for your neck. So we don't want to flop the neck back here, so hold the muscles of the neck. Open the heart. This is a good one to take some nice deep breaths in. This is a pose to build a deeper breath. If you're trying to build deeper breaths, this is the one to do. If you need to bend your elbows, you can bend your elbows, shoulder blades moving towards one another. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Big breath. You can pause at the top of the breath, pause at the bottom of the breath. Just a pause. And let that go. And then we're just going to walk forward here and just go ahead and round our shoulders and look into our lap here, chin towards your chest. And just round over here. And let that go. Come on up. And let's bring the arm. Let's change legs. So we're going to bring the left leg in front this time. And we'll bring the arms up. Take a breath in. And we're going to go to the left this time. Exhale. And bring the arms up. Take a breath in. And go to the right. Bring the arms up, take a breath in. We're going to twist to the left, right hand on left knee, starting from the bottom to the top. Exhale on the twist. Belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, and then the head. If you want to look over your shoulder. Long spine. And bring the arms overhead, take a breath in. And we'll twist it to the left. Belly, ribs, chest, shoulders, head. Grip your fingers behind you. That'll take weight off your wrists. Build your forearm muscles. Then let that go. And then point the fingers behind, and we'll take a few deep breaths here. breathing's going to open you up. It's going to give you energy. It's going to help you be calmer. And let that go. And then just round over, walk yourself forward, and look in your lap, chin towards your chest. And just soften and let go where you can. But you need to come up if the body's feeling pain or pinpointed sensations or dull, achy sensations or anything like that. Keep walking it up until you don't feel that anymore. And let that go. Let's go ahead and grab everybody have a strap. And let's do this first. Go back to the back of your mat, and we'll warm up our hips a little bit. Go ahead and get a strap for the next time.
Someone else came in.
These straps, I need to go get some new ones. I import these things from Guatemala, but I need a new set. All right, so hands in your lap, and we're just going to walk our hips forward to the front of your mat. And get to the top of the mat, and then we'll walk back. Walking back is harder. We'll just walk back to the middle, for me anyway. Walk back to the middle of the mat. Does it seem walking backwards is harder? I think so too. Okay, good. It's not just me. All right. So grab your strap, and let's strap the ball of your right foot. And we'll just warm up the knees a little bit here. It's a little... bend and straighten. Really try to keep the ankle and the knee in line. And look at that alignment. And if you feel like I have it on the left side, it's kind of like a little crunchy knee or something, you need to start little and make the movement smaller and to get that synovial fluid in the joint, and then you can then it'll open up. So always, start small. If you hear crunchy, poppy noises, don't just keep doing it, okay? Make it smaller. I know none of us crunch and pop, I know, but all right, let's try the other side. Ball of the foot, and then just bend and straighten. Yeah, this is the one on this side for me. So if you just make the movement little first, and then you'll be able to expand there. All right, let that go. And go ahead and strap both feet. And we're just going to lift back. So we're right on top of the sit bones. We're sort of leaning back a little bit, lifting the chest, really lengthen the spine. Lift the chest, maybe look up a little bit, staff pose. Really have to flex those feet, so strap the balls of the feet, toes pointed towards the ceiling. Give it a few breaths here. Let that go. And if you want to use the strap, you could bend your knees. If you wanted to, you could bend your knees and lay your chest on your thighs, right? And then you could kind of start to straighten the legs out a little bit. You don't have to ever straighten the legs all the way, but you could. Just see how you feel. But you just don't want to have any, pain in the back or anything. So just, you keep the knees bent as much as you want and just ooch out. But lengthen the spine, looking past the toes. Still long spine. All right, let that go. All right, let's go into our hands and knees. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and let's just bring the right leg back and tuck the toes. And the creases of your elbows face each other, so you don't lock out your arms. So we're just going to take that right leg and we're going to bring it behind the left. Wait, before we do that, let's do this first. Let's stretch our calves. So tuck the toes and then push into the heel. And but push into the heel. So you get a good calf stretch. You're shifting the hips back also. You should feel it in your calf, your Achilles, arch of your foot. Are we feeling it? Yeah? Okay, good. don't think we stretch our calves enough. All right, come back up. So the hips back over that left knee. And then we're going to cross the right leg behind the left and look over the left shoulder. So you might not be able to see your foot, and that's fine. Don't worry about that. Hollow out the front of the body so we're not sinking in the spine. Try to keep the heel over the ball of the foot or in line with the ball of the foot. If you want to take the right hand in front of the left hand on the fingertips and get an extra side stretch on that right side, you could. All right, let that go. Let's go into child pose in between. So knees wide, big toes together. Set your hips back toward your heels. Exhale. Those are a good pose to come to whenever you need to rest. It's really a great pose for digestion, for your lower back, for your knees, for your shins, tops of your feet, arches, insomnia, so many things. All right, come on back up. But you always go there during class if you need a break. All right, so we're going to take the left leg back and tuck the toes and then push back, shift the hips back and push back into that heel. Feel that calf stretch, Achilles stretch, arch stretch. You got to tuck your toes. Breathe into the tight places. Come on back up. We're going to cross that left leg behind the right leg, looking over the right shoulder. Keeping the ankle over the ball of the foot. Grip the fingers, hollow out the front of the body, lift the pelvic floor. Alright, so we're going to take the left hand if you want to and bring it in front of the right hand on top of the fingertips just to get that extra little side stretch on the left side if you want it. Alright, and come back to center. And let's do puppy pose. I'll show you how from this direction. So starting in table, we're going to just walk the hands out. And this is a modified puppy here. You can put your head between your arms and just lengthen the spine, right? We're not going into full puppy here. This is a long spine, and the hips are over the knees. If you want to go into full puppy, you know how dogs do it. The chest goes down towards the ground. The hips flip up. Activate your abs. Now, if you feel any pain in the shoulders or anything, just keep backing up until you don't feel that. Find that place where the shoulders feel good, getting a nice stretch. Breathe into the tight places. Spread your fingers, grip the floor. All right, walk your hands back in. So let's go ahead and get onto our feet. So tuck the toes and let's push back to a down dog. So down dog, you could bend your knees. Your chest is going towards your thighs, your heels towards the floor, chin towards your chest. And you can roll through your feet here too if you want to stretch your calves. Roll through your feet. Shift your hips a little bit. And let's walk our feet underneath us. Feet underneath your hips. And we're in a forward fold here. So crowned head is going towards the ground. You can bend your knees if you want to. And tip the hips up high. And then you give plenty of knee bend, whatever you want there. And breathe here. And let's go ahead and bend the knees and come up with a flat back. So let's think about mountain pose. Alright, so mountain pose. So feet are underneath your hip bones, toes are pointed forward, palms are forward or facing your thighs. And go ahead and lift up your toes. Feel the inner outer edges of your feet. And put your feet down and grip your toes as long as we're standing. So you're going to feel that lifting coming from the arch all the way up the leg. Feel like the thighs are wrapping around. Belly button, spine, shoulders over hips. And let's take a breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Bring the arms overhead. You could look at the thumbs. If you wanted to do a little baby back bend, you could. Tighten the butt to protect the back. Exhale. Now reach forward. Inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Hands on your shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Coming back into your plank push-up position. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways. We're going to hold this for a couple of counts. So you could go down to your knees if you wanted to. You could go to your forearms and hold it, right? So and make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders. So whatever way you want to do it, the same alignment principles apply. 1, looking past the mat, keeping the head in line with the spine. 2, hands underneath your shoulders, grip your fingers. 3, hollow out the front of the body. 4, belly button to spine. 5, breathe, don't hold your breath. 6, feel the energy from the crown of the head all the way to the tips of the toes. 7, butts down as much as you can get it. 8, don't sink in the upper back or the lower back. Hollow out the front of the body. 9 and 10. Come up to the toes, drop to the knees. Hug the body with the elbows and lower to the floor. So we're going to do a modified cobra. So we're just going to bring the hands kind of next to the shoulders and lift the upper body. Palms are down. Elbows are kind of going towards one another, scapula towards one another. So we'll stay here for a moment. And notice where you can breathe here. Maybe the chest, the back, side of the body. Not too much the belly. All right, hands underneath your shoulders, push back. You can stay in table. You can go into child pose. Or you can go into down dog. Tuck the toes, hips up and back, down dog. Give it 5 breaths in and out through your nose, belly to throat. So you can bend your knees with downward facing dog. You can take your legs wider if you wanted to. You could put blocks underneath your wrist to protect your wrist. Although today we don't have 2 blocks, so don't try it. All right, so walk your feet underneath you. Hands on your shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, come up with a flat back inhale. Hands to heart center. Let's reclaim that mountain once again. Nice and tall. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let's try it again. Inhale, arms overhead. Look at your thumbs or a little baby back bend. Exhale. Reach forward. If you wanted to bend your knees, you could. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale. Hands on your shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Coming back to that plank position. We're not going to hold it this time. Hollow out the front of the body. Push up position. And come up to the toes. Drop to the knees. Hug the body with the elbows and lower to the floor. This time, let's go to Sphinx pose. So elbows underneath your shoulders. Palms down. Spread your legs a little bit. Press the hips into the floor, the thighs, tops of the legs, tops of the feet. Very active position. Shoulders down away from the ears. Anytime you're doing Cobra, you can come here too. Or the first one we did. Alright, hands back underneath your shoulders. Push back, tuck toes. Hips up and back, down dog, child pose, or table, whatever you want. Bend those knees if you need to. Lengthen the spine, no matter which way you do it. In and out through your nose, belly to throat. We're also externally rotating our shoulders, which just means we're turning the elbows a little bit more towards the mat. All right, walk your feet underneath you. Hands on your shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, come up with a flat back, inhale. Hands to heart center. All right, let's do this again. Take a breath in. This time we're going to go into chair pose. So butt is back, chest is lifted, shoulders are down, knees over ankles, right? The weight's in the heels of the feet. But we're still gripping the toes. So if you want to put your hands down here on your thighs, you could, right? Or next to your ears, if you wanted to. So let's do 5 breaths. Or palms down in front of you. Now don't cave the chest though. We're still lifting the chest, still lengthening the spine. And you don't have to go too deep in the squat if you don't want to. You can go 45, right? All right, hands to heart center, and let's just keep those bent knees and come over to a forward fold, then straighten the legs, exhale. Stepping back into a plank position, hollow out the front of the body. We're not going to stay there this time. Come up to the toes, drop to the knees. Hug the body with the elbows, lower the floor. Coming up to cobra, we'll stay here. Elbows, hug the body, hands underneath the shoulders. Shoulders down away from the ears, tighten the butt. Lift the pelvic floor. Feet are down. All right, push back. Remember, you can stay in table, you can go to child pose, or down dog. 5 breaths. Nice full breath. All right, walk your feet underneath you. Hands on your shins, inhale, flat back. Oh, I messed up. All right, exhale, forward fold, step back. Step back into that down dog. I messed up. All right, we're in our down dog now. We're going to bring up the right leg, 3-legged dog. Open up the hip. And if you need to bend that left knee, that's all right. Chest towards the thigh, lengthen the spine. We're going to bring the right foot through to where your hands are in a runner's lunge. So we're in a runner's lunge, right knee over right ankle. Might step the back foot in just a tiny bit, and we're going to walk up for warrior 1. So toes are pointed forward on this warrior 1, knee over ankle. If you do it the other way and you want to, do whatever you like to do. But we're going to keep the hips. It's a little bit easier to keep the hips in line with this warrior 1. So remember, you can take a wider base if you need to. You could bend your back knee if that felt better. Give it a few breaths. Just keep that knee over the ankle. All right, come on back down and step back into that plank push-up position. Hollow out the front of the body. Take a breath in. Come up to the toes, drop to the knees. Hug the body with the elbows, lower the floor. Coming up to cobra. Inhale and then exhale, down dog. Downward facing dog. Nice full breaths here. I'm going to bring up the left leg this time, 3-legged dog on the left side. Let's open up the hip here. And if you need to bend that right knee, that's okay. Chest towards the thigh, lengthen the spine. So we're going to swoop that leg through to where your hands are. Help it if you need to. Check in. Runner's lunge here. Check your knee over ankle. Walk that back foot in maybe a little bit and walk up the leg for warrior 1. Arms overhead or hands to heart center. Whatever works for your shoulders today. Need to bend that back knee. Remember, that's okay. Take a wide base. All right, come on back down. And back to that plank position. Hollow out the front of the body. Coming up to the toes, drop to the knees. Hug the body with the elbows, lower the floor. Coming up to cobra or up dog. Arms straighter but not locked. And tuck toes, hips up and back, down dog. 5 breaths in and out through your nose, belly to throat. So walk your feet underneath you. And we are going to bend those knees and go straight back up into chair pose. 5 breaths. Come on up. And we're just going to shake it out a little bit. And take a drink if you need a drink. And then we'll come back and do a little balance and standing poses. Are we doing okay? Everybody? Yeah. Feels like pretty good temperature now. All right, so we're going to start, we're going to do a little balance first. We're going to do, what's it called? Stork balance, that's it. Lift your heel, and so you can stay right here with stork. Lift the heel, and that's your balance right there. Lift that left heel. If you wanted to, you could lift the knee, right? So don't look at me or anybody else. Just look on the floor about 4 to 6 feet in front of you. You're not dropping the head, but you are dropping the eye gaze. So you don't want to hike up the hip either. So keep those hips even and breathe. Grip your fingers. Feel planted, grounded with that right leg into the earth, right? Feel that energy coming out the fingers, out the crown of the head, out the toes. All right, go ahead and straighten that leg, and we're just going to step on it, and we're just going to step into warrior 2. All right, so left foot front, right leg back, and we're trying to line up the heels the best we can. If you need to take a little wider stance, that's fine. Just don't cross behind, right? So arms over legs. Let's do a little flow. Straighten and bend here. So really good for the knees here. Track over that first, second, third toe. Aim the knee towards the baby toe. That's going to open up the upper thigh. Exhale when you bend. Inhale when you straighten. Feel the back edge of your right foot too. You're going to really feel that edge. That's going to help ground you and give you a lot of balance and support also. So let's stay in warrior 2 for about 6 breaths. If you need to bring your arms down because their shoulders got tired or anything, do that, right? But still keep that chest going and the hips going to the right diagonal. I've talked a lot, so we only have about 4 more breaths. Bring the left arm up and look up with the palm. Reverse warrior. So you can keep it right here. And left shoulder's forward, right shoulder's back, reaching for the sky, looking up at the palm. Palm is the sun. If you want to take it more into a side stretch, you're going to reach back and bend more into that left knee. But still keep that left shoulder forward, right shoulder back. Keep that aligned with the shoulders. All right, reach forward, back to warrior 2. Give it a couple breaths. And an elbow to knee or hand to thigh. Start with the right hand on the hip. Reach up to the sky. You can keep it here or over towards your ear. So remember, think about what your shoulders need. If you want it here or you want it back at the hip, you could bring it behind you. And check yourself in the mirror, so make sure you're not tipping forward. Everybody's actually doing really well. Like that. All right, come on up. And let's go ahead and look up again at the reverse warrior. This time, if you wanted to add a little scoop, a little dancer warrior, you can scoop that bottom arm, palm up. And then back to warrior 2. So straighten the leg, wiggle the hips a little bit. Send that right hip to the right. Reach, reach, reach. And then melt to triangle. So triangle, if you want to bend that front knee, that's fine. If you want to come up to the thigh, make sure you're pulling that right side back. Getting that good alignment. Do what your body wants you to do. Here, though, think lengthen spine, lift the chest, open the heart, because it's very much an opening heart, so you don't want to be caving in the chest here. Activate the abs, come up. And then that knee, pivot on the back foot, heel step in. Eyes to the other side. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting the balance that we do. That's what we need to do. Okay, about balance, stork pose. So I've been doing stork with straight arms, but they've been and they got wings, right? So lift your right heel, and you can stay here or come back here anytime you want, or you can lift your knee. Find your focal point. That's going to help you to balance more than anything I could say. Is just look at that focal point, ground through that left leg, grip those toes, feel like a tree, right? Feel that grounding with that left leg into the earth. Good, straighten the leg, and then we'll just step out and move into warrior 2. Arms over legs. We'll do a little flow here. Set yourself up. Line the heels the best you can. Back foot is turned in a little bit. It's not totally 90 degrees. It's turned in so you can pull that hip can come down and keep that knee over your ankle, right? We'll go ahead and stay in Warrior 2 for about 6 breaths. So chest going towards the left, front diagonal, chest and the hips, arms over legs, strong words. Pushing in the back edge of that back foot. Alright, elbow to knee or hand to thigh. Left hand on your hip. Reach up towards the sky, reach over towards your ear. Remember, if you want to, you can reach up or hand back to the hip or back behind you. Just do what's good for your neck and shoulders. And if you need to come up hand to thigh. That way you can maybe pull that left side back if you're having trouble keeping that left side in line with the right side. Alright, come on up. Reach up to a reverse warrior, looking up the palm, right shoulder forward, left shoulder back here. So you keep it right here, lifting, lifting, lifting. If you want to get more into a side stretch, you could reach back, bend that front knee a little bit more. I'm not sure, but I think we did a flow here. So let's go back to side angle one more time. I feel like we did some kind of flow. I don't know. Can't hurt to stretch again. Alright, come back up. There's one more reverse warrior. This time if you want to add dancer warrior, scoop that bottom arm. Palm up. Try to line those shoulders up still. Chest is still going to the left. Alright, coming back. Warrior 2. And pivot on the back foot.
Triangle.
Alright, straighten the leg, wiggle hips. I know I'm forgetting stuff. All right, left foot, left hip goes a little bit to the left. Reach, 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 and then windmill to your triangle. So remember, you can bend that front knee, or you can come up to the thigh with the hand. Fine. Back leg is straight though. If you bend the front knee. All right, activate the abs to come up, and then bend the front knee and pivot and step in. All right. So. Let's do one more balance and then we'll go to the ground. So let's do tree pose. We'll do tree pose. So you can lift your heel, right heel, turn out your right knee, stack that foot, and stay right there. Balance can be right there. You don't have to go any further than that. You could bring the foot below the knee or above the knee, but just not on the knee bone. So find that focal point. Don't let your mind move. So reach those branches, ground through your feet, grip your toes. A micro bend in the knee, right? Don't walk out any joints anywhere. Feel the energy going through the fingers, out the crown of the head, into the floor, out the tailbone. Feel those lines of energy. They're not stopping. They're moving through us. If you have trouble with balance, this is what you do 3 times a day. You don't have to have your leg up. You can have it down with the heel up like we started at the beginning. Try it 3 times a day and just keep adding on time. And before you know it, in a month, your balance is going to be a lot better. All right, hands to heart center. And then shake it out. Let's try the other side. So lift the heel, turn out the knee, stack the heel on top of that right ankle. And if you want to go further, one-legged, you can take it below or above the knee. And if you want to grow your branches, grow your branches. Find that focal point. Now we are trying to open up that left knee and open up the hips, but you have to counter open on the right side. You can't open up the left knee and let the right hip kind of turn in. So when you open up the hips, think opening like both hips, right? If you want to get into that thought process. Otherwise, just balance. Hands heart center. Shake it out. let's go down to the ground. Take a breath in. Come on over. Take a breath out. Grab your elbows. Do a little ragdoll stretch. You want to walk your hands over to the left. Walk your hands over to the right. All right, let's come on down to the ground. So let's just round over. Just take a breath in and come over, round over. You can grab anywhere along your leg. Just a nice gentle rounding here. Soften the knees. If you want to bend the knees, you could bend the knees. All right, so let's work. Everybody's got a strap now, right? So if you want to, you can sit in hero pose, or you can sit on the block. We don't have two blocks, so if you can sit on one block comfortably without any pain, this is a good one for the knees, right? Toes are pointed, but if you have any pain in your knees, you don't want that. So you could go back to, crisscross, right? So whatever way there, and grab your strap. So just make sure that the foot isn't flexed there. That's not good for the knee. So the toes long, pointed. We'll bring the arms overhead. We got our strap in our hands, and we're gonna take a breath in. And we're just gonna let the strap go back and find that place of the more resistance here. We're loosening, being loose with the wrists. We're not holding, gripping with the hands. Everything's nice and loose. Breathe into that space. Now, if this is too intense, you can drop the strap, right? You can make the motion with your arms, right? You could just go forward and back, motion with your arms, whatever feels right, okay? So that's what we're gonna do, is go forward and back. So take a breath in, exhale, come back to where it's tight, breathe into that space, and then bring the arms back over again. So just follow your breath here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, arms go back. Inhale, arms overhead. And then back again. So this is a really good one for, slumping forward, which we do on our computers and our phones all the time. So this is a good counter to not having our shoulders roll forward. But and like I said, if you don't want to use a strap, if that's too intense, just make the motion with your arms. Out in the V, and then you take it behind. All right, let that go. And let's just go ahead and drop the strap over the right shoulder. And we're going to bring the right elbow up, left elbow down, and then walk our fingers towards one another. So you want to make sure that it's not like back up here and pushing your head, right? Your head is free, it can move right and left. And if you feel pain, remember to just make it less, right? Don't make the stretch less by moving the hands away from each other more. Notice where you feel it. Breathe into that place. Soften, let go, release. And we'll release that, and bring your arms back and palms out. Bring the shoulder blades together. And we'll try the other side. Take your strap and over the left shoulder this time. And then left elbow is up, right elbow is down, and we're walking those fingers towards one another. So we're relaxing the wrist. I'll notice sometimes if I really grip my wrist, then my shoulder might hurt or something. So I really try to align my wrist with my arm and just relax my fingers and everything as much as I can. And let that go, and then we'll open back here. We'll have palms out, reaching back, and we'll go ahead and come off the block. Let's do thread the needle too for shoulders. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're in table pose. So we're going to bring that right hand back behind the head and just open up to the right. Think of the mid-back, upper back. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to wrist, and bend that left elbow. And then open up to the left. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to wrist. Bend the left elbow. Open to the right again. Really think of the upper back, mid-back. Breathe in. Exhale, elbow to wrist. Last one, we're going to go ahead and straighten the arm. And breathe. And then now we're going to weave. We're going to take that right hand and weave it behind the left hand. So left hand's going to turn in a little bit. Weave the right hand behind the left hand. Now you could come onto your block here if you wanted to with your head. And put your head on the block. And then push into your hands. Back of the hand. Palm of the hand. The more you press into those hands, the more stretch you're going to get. If you can come down to your head or snuggle the shoulder towards the ground, try that, see where you're at, right? You don't want pain, so we're trying to avoid that. So breathe into a nice stretch. Push into the back of the hand, push into the top of the hand. All right, go ahead and push into that left hand to come up. And then we'll go ahead and bring the left hand behind and open up to the left. Inhale. Bend that left elbow. Exhale, elbow goes to right wrist. Bend your right elbow. Then open up to the left again. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to wrist. Left elbow to right wrist. And then open up again to the left. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to wrist. And last one, we'll straighten the arm and face the left. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale. And we're going to turn that right hand in just a little bit. We're going to thread the needle. Left hand goes behind the right hand, coming down onto a block, or your head. Or head goes to the block. Either way. And we're pressing. And if you can, you could snuggle the shoulder to the ground, but without pain. Push into the back of the hand. Push into the palm of the hand. That's going to help you with your stretch. Breathe into those tight places. And push that right hand to come up. All right. So let's do lizard pose. So actually, yeah, let's do lizard pose. So we're going to bring the right foot forward. And you're going to line that knee up with your ankle. You're going to walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat. The toes are pointed forward. You still keep that knee over ankle. You're going to take your block, and you can put it long ways if you want to. And then we're going to slide the left knee back for lizard pose. So there's kind of a little bit of a diagonal there with those knees. But main thing is you don't want your knees to hurt. So you could push into the top of the left foot, and that'll take weight off the knee. And if it does hurt, you can go back to a regular stretch, right? Like a regular stretch if you don't like to go at that angle, like a regular lunge. So if you wanted to, you could try going down onto your forearms, rolling out to the edge of the foot. Just see how it feels though. You don't want any pulls on the knees. You might have to make adjustments. So we're just trying to really stretch the front of the left hip. So that's the goal. All right, let's walk the foot back in, and we'll try the other side. Bring the left leg forward. So we're going to line up the knee ankle, and then we're going to walk that leg out to the edge of the mat. And then we're going to put the block on the inside of the left foot, and then we're going to slide the right knee back. Lizard pose. We're trying to open up the hips here and feel a little stretch in the front of that right hip. You might feel a lot of different places. All around the hip area. If you want to roll onto the outer edge of that foot, you could. If you want to come down onto your forearms, you could. Just see what feels good for you today. Every day is different, right? Don't want to think about, I did this 20 years ago. That doesn't matter at all. Just let it go because it don't matter now. All right. Come on up. and walk that foot in. All right. So let's see. All right. Okay, so let's work on the shoulders, work on the hips. This is a good one for the knees too. Let's try a deer pose. So you're going to bend that front left knee towards the front corner of the mat, and then bend that back leg, and we're going to make sure that toe is pointed, right? And we're going to lay on, you can lay on the inside of the knee here, and lay on the inside of the left knee. And you'll feel that inner rotation and outer rotation of the hips. You can also walk yourself over to the left outside of the knee too, if you want to get a little bit more of a side stretch. So on the inside or the outside of the knee. Let's see how it feels for you. Breathe into the belly, breathe into the back, breathe into wherever you feel any tightness. All right, go ahead and walk it back up nice and easy. And we'll try the other side. So we're bending the right knee towards the mat. We're bending. It's a little bit like a pinwheel with the legs here, and pointing that back foot. And then we'll lay on the inside. You can start laying on the inside, see how that feels. If you want to take it to the outside, you could. Noticing the inward and outward rotation, internal rotation, external rotation of the hips. So let's go ahead and lay on our back. So grab one, well you only have one block, but grab your block and your strap, and we'll come lay on our backs. And just get used to this for a minute. With the exhale, just really let the body release into the ground. Every time we switch a new position, you kind of have to give yourself a little bit of time to get used to that new position. All right, so we're going to bring the knees up. Take your strap, and we're going to strap the balls of our feet, legs up the wall pose. So the feet are over the hips. Now with this one, I always say you can bend your knees, but this one, I want you to keep your legs straight. So if you can't straighten your legs over your hips, you can take your feet away from the body, and then you'll be able to straighten your legs. So either way, legs away from the body straight or legs over the hips straight. So just stay here for a moment, get used to this. This is a really good one for the lower back of the legs, hamstring muscles. You can feel it. You don't have to think, just let your natural breath here. Notice where you notice things. All right, we're going to take the left leg out of the strap and go ahead and straighten the left leg and flex the toes pointed towards the ceiling. And you're going to take your block up against your right hip. So bring your block to your right hip. Take the left hand out to the side, palm down, and take a breath in. As you take a breath out, we're just going to open up that right leg out to the right and look over at your left hand. Breathe into any tight places. Remember, we want to flex that left foot just to keep nice, good alignment with the knee, ankle, hip. So we are flexing that left foot. And go ahead and bend the knee and bring it in. Bring both knees in to your chest or towards your chest. And just breathe here a couple of breaths. All right, so go ahead and strap the feet over the hips again. And we're going to take the block to the left hip this time. And just stay here for a moment, legs up the wall. You can do this at home. You just like go to the right or to the left and then scoot your hip up against the wall and then kick your legs up. And it's like the butt and the back of the legs are on the wall and you're out away from the wall. All right, take the right leg out and straighten that leg and flex the foot. We're going to take the straps in the right hand. Right hand comes out to the side to a T, palm down. Take a breath in. And remember, you got your block up on your left hip there. And we're going to open up to the left, the leg, and look over at the right hand. Remember, we're still flexing that right foot. But we're letting the left leg really relax, on that block. Breathe into the tight places. It might not be in your legs. I always get cramps in my shoulders when I do this one. So you never know where you're going to, tighten up. But breathe into wherever you tighten up. That's where you take your breaths in, the breath there. All right, bend that knee and bring it in. And we're going to roll over. Bring your knees to your chest and rock a little bit. We're going to roll over onto our right side for a trunk twist. So we're going to line ourselves up best we can. We're going to get into a fetal position, except we're not rounding the back. Knees are coming up towards the chest. Knees in line, ankles in line, hips stacked. And clap your hands in front of you, shoulders stacked. That's kind of hard to stack the shoulders, but do the best you can. Bring the left hand to the left ribs. If you wanted to hold the legs together with the right hand, you could. Take a breath in, and we're going to go to the left, starting from the navel, the ribs, exhale, chest, shoulders, and then the head and the arm. Palm is up. Now, if you get into this position and the arm is extended and doesn't feel good for the neck, to look over the shoulder, you can always bring the hand back to the ribs, left hand back to left ribs, and you can look up at the ceiling, right? You don't have to be looking over the left shoulder, or the arm doesn't have to be extended. Breathe into the back, breathe into the belly. Try to soften with each exhale. Let go where you can let go. Now, if you feel any pinpointed sensations or dull, achy sensation, that is a sign you're too deep, so you got to back up the truck a little bit. If you want to get a little deeper lower back stretch, you could straighten that top leg, but just lay it on top of the other leg. Keep the knees in line and just let it relax. And that might get a little bit deeper into the lower back for you. So go ahead and bend that leg if it's straight and bring the arm in. And lay on your side again, on that right side, and just stay here for a couple of breaths. Like reset the spine. All right, let's roll over to the other side. And align your ankles, knees. Remember, the back is still straight, head is on top of the spine, so we're not rounding the back here. Bring the right hand to the right ribs. You can hold the knees together if you want to with that left hand. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, we'll go to the right, starting from the navel, the ribs, chest, shoulders, and then the head and the arm. Palm is up. Notice where you feel the resistance. Breathe into that place. Want to extend that top leg long, just lay it on top of the other leg, keep the knees in line, just relax the leg on top of the other leg. Just for a little bit deeper into the lower back, but if you don't need it, don't do it. and come out of it. Go ahead and bend that top leg, and then bring the arm in and go back to your fetal position on that left side, totally on the left side, and stay there for a moment and reset the spine. And go ahead and come onto your back. And we'll go, bring your knees to your chest, and we'll just rock a little bit here. And straighten out the legs for Savasana. So this is our final pose today. Take your legs wider than your hips. Let your feet fall out to the side. Tuck your shoulders underneath you. Palms are up about 45 degrees from your thighs. Now, if you get with your legs lengthened and it doesn't feel great for your lower back, you can always bring your knees up, pigeon toe your toes a little bit, and let the knees fall together. Or you can go back onto your side like we were before. Whatever feels aligned and relaxed. That's what we want to try to do. So I'm going to try to be still. So take a deep breath in. Big sigh, let it out. Let the body just sort of relax into the floor. Each breath, let it go a little bit more. Starting at the top of the head, maybe noticing the crown of the head, top of the head, forehead, temples, back of the head touching the ground. Noticing any sensations or pulsations you might feel there. Feeling very smooth on the face, across the forehead, cheekbones, relaxing the jaw, eyelids, eyebrows. Softening shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Noticing your right armpit, right waist, right hip. Relaxing your whole right leg. Noticing the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, and the ankle. Noticing your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Noticing your left armpit, left waist, left hip. Relaxing your whole left leg. Noticing the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, and the ankle. Noticing your left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. And if you're thinking about the next thing you're going to do today, maybe breathe between the eyebrows, third eye, a little bit above between the eyebrows. Breathing into this space might help you just calm the thoughts a little bit, put them on the back burner, give them less importance, helping you stay in this moment, this moment, this moment. Go ahead and bring a little movement back to your fingers and your toes, and circle your ankles and wrists. Any movement that feels good to you. You want to bring the knees towards the chest and rock a little bit. You could. And when you're ready, rock over to the right or to the left in the fetal position. Stay there for a couple of breaths before you come up. It got colder again. Just bring the arms up if you're up. Take your time getting up. Take a breath in and exhale, hands to heart center. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be safe from danger, inward and outward. May we be well, body, mind, and spirit. Thank you for sharing practice with me today. It's my honor. Namaste.